Hello, dear friends. Here we are. We have another study of our Learning with Emmanuel series. Today we have chapter 2 of the book Words of Life Eternal, Growing Towards the Good. The spirits tell us in the Spirit's book that we're all destined for progress. That's the law of progress. We always move forward. And today we're going to learn with Emmanuel what are the things we have to do to grow towards the good so we can more effectively follow the example of Jesus, our guided model. And this message starts with observe the generosity of divine gifts everywhere. As this message will be coming to you in the morning, what are the gifts of God everywhere? Have you thought, have you stopped to think about when we open our eyes, divine gift, we return from the spiritual realm. We leave our homes and the sun is coming up, the sky is twilight or dark, or maybe you're going to drive to work and the sun is going to rise, the blessing of the blue sky and the clouds, the plants, the nature, the insects, the animals, all of those are divine gifts. The first and foremost, breathing. Divine gift. You and I are not creating oxygen, nor we're not creating molecules of air that come together, carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, right? So we receive these divine gifts and we breathe in many times a day, right? 12 to 20 times a minute, times 60 minutes, times 24 hours a day. Your math, the public math we don't do here, but it is. Observe the generosity of divine gifts everywhere in the universe God is given. This is also in the book Genesis, chapter about God, divine providence. While humans ration the distribution of resources, God never alters his laws of abundance, right? So the fact that we don't have everybody on the earth having the bare minimum to just be food, shelter, health care, mental health, right? That's the bare minimum. Transportation, he says, is because humans ration or we limit the distribution of resources. Many people want to hoard resources, right? Billionaires, trillionaires, more and more, my big house, my car, because we look at the ones who have a lot and they are hoarding resources. But sometimes we, the spirits inspire us, but we are the ones hoarding the resources because I want more for my family, mine, not for the common good. So we have to be aware of that. God has the law of abundance. That's the divine providence that is constantly giving, giving, giving. In the Genesis, we see something similar where the spirits tell us God is at the center, giving out all over resources. As we mature as spirits, we are going to absorb more of those divine resources. And I'm not just talking about physical resources like the microphone, the camera. We're talking about the love that permeates the universe, the molecules in the spiritual realm that helps us with healing, the spiritual nourishment that we need, the transmission of thought and communication with the good spirits, all of that. So now he's going to list what things we should notice around us. Emmanuel says, notice the earth around you, the magnificent sun nurturing life in every direction, the pure air without measure, the spring that gives itself without reserve, all infinitely bestowed upon all, freely shared. So it's everywhere. We are the ones who put up barriers, boundaries, and say, this is mine and not yours, even though we are all children of God, right? The sun will be there each and every day for the next 500 million years, giving life on the earth as the earth is evolving towards a planet of regeneration. The sunlight is given to all, not just different people that look like us who believe what we believe or vote the way we do, right? So we need to look for these divine gifts, which is what we learn in the first chapter of the Spirit's book. That's how God makes himself present in the world through his creation. He says, as it is with the Lord material gifts, so it is in the realm of the Spirit. So there are resources that our spirit, in this case of incarnate souls, need to learn about so we can better use it. Because we might be using it, but the more we know, the better it is. The doors of wisdom and love are forever open. So there is a whole host of spirits, starting with our guardian angels, the spirit guides, mentors, right? I use those words interchangeably. Our sympathetic spirits, our familiar spirits, those are lots of spirits who want our good, and they're constantly working so we can get better. So love is there, wisdom is there. We need to learn to attune. It says the treasures of science, friends, science is a blessing from God. We need to go study the scientific process. Okay, I'm biased because I'm a scientist, but the process of asking questions, doing experiments, gathering the data, interpreting it, so we can better understand what's going around us. Medicine is a much blessing from God. Imagine in Jesus' world, you have a cut, you could die of sepsis because there was no antibiotics. Right? There might be some herb concoctions here and there, but not the way we have today. You have cancer, you go to have treatment. You have a problem, you have a surgery, you go be ill, you go to the physician. Of course, I'm talking about privileged areas where medical care is there, but the new resources that God is giving, inspiring the treasures of science into the scientists, because every person has their inspiration. Nobody's creating anything alone in the labs. And the joys of human understanding, the glories of art, and the lights of inner sublimation. So next time we see art, we admire it because God inspired that person. Art that is inspired and promotes the well-being and the good, not evil, not hard-looking images, not images of war and blood, but art as in spiritist music, gospel music, sculpture, right? Art is inspired. He says, all are accessible to every creature. So we have around us this inner network and outer network of resources, the resources that I have within myself and the resources that others are producing, because the law is of society. We are here to work with one another and to help one another, not to separate, not to divide. He says, yet from the river of life's graces, imagine this river coming through. Each soul draws only the portion it can perceive and use wisely. So divine resources in the book Genesis, we learn God is given. God is given, and then each soul absorbs. We absorb a little, Jesus absorbs a lot because he's in communion with God. Between us and Jesus, there's all gradations, and there's the people, the humans who have just been created as spirits in the universe. They are going to absorb less and need more help from the spiritual realm to progress in the first incarnations, right? So, how do we perceive and use this river of resources, river of life's graces? Here is the homework: study, observe, work, and renew yourself for good. That means reaching out to those who are around us to learn about their needs, to help them with physical things, right? Food, shelter, clothing, giving the little that seems little to them, but it's something we can be disposed of. A lot of people would love to have the pantry that we have full of food at home, or the comforts of jackets and socks. So if you talk to the homeless, right, they are in lack of many things. And we have people in this country who need help, and it's just a matter of us observing the help. Because renewing yourself for the good, it means I work for others and then I renew myself because I learn discipline. I'm learning to give off of myself. Expand your vision and help others, aiding yourself in the process. So, like, expand our vision today. When we drive to work, when we get there, we pray and we look around and we send loving vibrations to our coworkers who need. I pray for the shield so that I'm not contaminated by their emotions and actions, because we are interacting. So pray for mold so that I can do this. And then we pray and we radiate love for them. And you say, God, give them what they need today. We pray before getting into our cars for a safe trip. We pray for those on the road for a safe trip. We pray for those who are serving in areas, for example, in hospitality, when we go get our breakfast in the morning, those who are working in what society sometimes see as invisible work, which is very important work, right? Expand your vision and talk to people, look at them in the eye, ask their name, so that in the future they might be able to tell us what they need, and send them a thought of love. As they're talking to you, say, God, please bless this person. He or she is a child of God. He's and Emmanuel puts the cherry on the top. Remember, God gives his gifts to all without measure, but each soul brings within him or herself the measure it has prepared in its own heart to receive the gifts of God. So, as we expand our vision to help others, we will be open to the inspiration from the good spirits, and will be better able to absorb these riches that come to us through divine providence. So today, as we grow towards the good, we study ourselves and others, we observe things around us, we work, because the laws also of work, the laws of progress, the laws of society, and the laws of work, not of laziness, right? And then we build this muscle of assistance to others. So, dear friends, God willing, I'll be back with you with another message, another day, with our studies of the book Words of Life Eternal, Learning with Emmanuel series. I will see you soon. Bye bye.